Hello and welcome everyone to The Breakdown with your not so humble talking hairdo, Ben. Glad to be here today. This is, firstly, we're coming to you live from the Neon Parrot Live Studios at the Majestic Coffee Shop, allegedly serving Onyx coffee, the best in the land. Come by and get you a cup. We are here in Abilene, Texas, downtown. We are entering my favorite time of year. It is fall. You can feel it in the air. It's still, 90-something degrees outside in the afternoon here in Texas, but that's okay. We're getting there, slowly but surely. But this is the best time of the year, next to February 5th or 6th, which is the Super Bowl. This is the start of the football season, NFL. True week one is upon us. And last weekend, we had our week one of college football, which was amazing. It took up almost 3 full days of the weekend, being Labor Day. Had all kinds of college football. We're going to break that down for you. I've got some, incredibly hot takes for some people in certain camps. And then in other people, it's going to be like kind of obvious to you guys what I feel about all this stuff. NFL is back. We're going to just start the show talking about tonight's game, week one, game one matchup with the furthest thing from a Super Bowl champion, which is the Dallas Cowboys, versus the actual defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. And we hate Philly fan around here. We do, but I respect the hell out of this football program. The coach, who gets beat up a lot, but man, the guy just went and won the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, who ever since he was in college has been a kind of blue-collar working man's quarterback, and he constantly gets, they left him out of the top 10 QB list on ESPN or whoever the hell, and it's just like this guy gets banged on a lot, and I'm kind of guilty of that as well, kind of not really giving the guy his flowers that he deserves. He just won a Super Bowl. And anyways, so you got Jalen Hurts and the Eagles versus a healthy, presumably healthy Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, which have been in the news for everything except it's all the news coming out of Dallas has been bad. Last week, we talked about the Micah Parsons trade to the in-division rival Green Bay Packers, at the highest paid non-quarterback player in the league currently. We talked about Jerry Jones last week. We talked about the new coach in Brian Schottenheimer, who's going to be a yes man for Jerry, just like all the others. We talked to Big Frank about this situation, and we will be having Big Frank on the show coming up here in a few minutes as I get through the kind of the college stuff, and then we're going to hit Big Frank up here in probably 20 minutes or something like that. Here again, I thank you guys for joining me. This has been so much fun. I'd like to thank my technical producer extraordinaire, Sam Wolf, a.k.a. Sammy. This has just been a dream come true for me because I am a sports junkie fanatic, and I just love being able to come to you guys every week with this show, and especially now that we have football here. It's just wonderful, amazing, beautiful. It's very beautiful. Okay, so tonight, the Cowboys, the Eagles. The Eagles are an 8-point favorite. This is all the money. All the money in the world is on the Eagles to cover this spread and to beat the Cowboys by 46 points. Due to the nature of all of the turmoil with the Dallas Cowboys over the offseason. There's something interesting as well, and I didn't give Sammy any visuals on this, which is fine. It's no problem. But basically, Troy Aikman was on the radio the other day, And Troy Aikman is very careful not to criticize Jimmy Johnson. He's very careful not to criticize Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, pretty much ever. He'll take a nudge now and again, but there's a lifelong I got your back, bro level of respect amongst those two guys. And Troy also being a very much public face of football, and he is a play caller, announcer with Joe Buck, I think it's still Joe Buck. Anyways, he does not take shots at Jerry hardly ever, even when he should, and a lot of Cowboys fans get really pissed off when he doesn't. But finally, Troy Aikman comments on this Micah Parsons situation. The Jerry Jones being 82, going on 83, just bad decision after bad decision. Basically, Troy comes out and says Jerry clearly is not concerned with winning football games. He is concerned about being in the spotlight and being talked about. And this is not news to anybody that's a football person, okay? It's just interesting that Troy finally said something. And basically, the other day, Jerry Jones says, the NFL is a 365-day soap opera, and the Cowboys are at the top of the headlines every year, all the time, even when it's off season. And that's clearly the guy's, that's his goal, is to be talked about, and it's a business. And, the Cowboys are not obsessed with winning like the Patriots were, like the Eagles clearly are. Anyways, I'm not going to go too far into the Cowboys issues because we all know them. It's all clear as day to everyone except for the billionaire in that room, which is Jerry Jones. So what I want to do, and I'm going to ask Big Frank as well, but what I want to do here is I'm going to make a pick. And I'm going to try not to spend too much time on this, but this is huge. This is the first game of the season tonight. You have the best team on paper versus potentially a team that might not even make the playoffs. And I think that's pretty much set in stone that ain't happening this year. But the gunslinger, the gambler inside of me says, what if the Cowboys having all this bad press, losing their top defensive player, the coach basically everybody thinks is going to be a joke, Dak Prescott not great as of the last couple of years, always getting hurt. What if they go out with a chip on their shoulder today and go into Philly? I don't know if they could win, but what if they cover that point spread that everybody and their dog has got tons of money on this 8 points? That could happen. There could even be an upset. There could be a Cowboys victory, but those of you, the smart money is on the Eagles to win by 8 or multiple touchdowns. But from what I've read, the wise guy money is on Dallas to cover. And I'd love to be right next week. But I still think we got Philly wins by like 100. That's probably what's going to happen. That's Ben's phrase, wins by 100. It's going to be an ugly game tonight, I feel. I think that Cowboys will make some noise at times, but I got to go against what my heart thinks. My heart wants to see the Cowboys go out and beat the crap out of them just because they are now truly an underdog story at this point. And they are no longer America's team. They are no longer competitive, quite frankly. So that would be kind of fun to have a little shocker opener. But we're going to ask Big Frank about that. And then we'll see what Big Frank thinks, and we'll see if we can come to an agreement on a pick for tonight's game. Okay. Now I'm going to shift in a moment. Okay. I'm going to get through one more topic on NFL. Then I'm going to shift into some artificial intelligence talk. Just a quick story that I'm sure nobody will give a damn about, but it's pretty interesting to me. Anyways, here's a controversial topic in the NFL. We've got week 1, game 1, the Chiefs versus the Chargers. This is a division rivalry. This is game number 1 for them. They're playing this in Brazil. And why do I think this is terrible? Because, like, there's too many reasons. And I'm not, like, I don't hate international football games because I want everybody to get into the NFL. But, like, that's a lot of travel. And this game matters. And it's the first game of the season for these guys. And, you know, what they should do is play this game week 6 when they're going to have a bye the next week so they can rest up or something. Like, this is just a horrible, horrible decision by ownership. And this is all this international stuff is all about money, like everything is in the NFL, of course. But, yeah, I just think that's pretty messed up that they're going to play their first game of the season, which is an important game, in Brazil, of all places. And every time, I don't like to bang on South America, but I will because it's dangerous there. And it's just a fact. And, like, these guys have to be confined to their hotel rooms, and then they get frickin' security details with machine guns and bazookas on the way to the stadiums at some of these places. It's like we talked about the NASCAR deal in Mexico City. It was like they were told by the government and were guarded by the military to and from their race, and it's no different in some of these South American places with the NFL. And so my point is if you're going to do this kind of stuff, do it on a game on a week that doesn't matter or doesn't matter as much. But first game, division rivalry, you're going to take them to Brazil and like, you know, I just think it's stupid. And the season ticket holders, they don't get a refund. They have to pay just like they do for every other game all season, and they do not get a refund, and they don't even get a discount, say, if they want to go to Brazil. They got to buy that ticket at the stadium in Brazil for $70 or pesos or whatever the hell it is over there. But anyways, that's my rant on international NFL games. Way to go. The owners got some more millions for their pockets. Okay, now. And that game I will not pick because the international games, who the hell knows what's going to happen or who's going to win. So now we're gonna take a little U-turn here or something, and we're gonna go to a Wall Street Journal article. I decided to keep my viewers in. I'm not gonna start with AI or end with AI. I'm gonna sprinkle it in the middle on you guys. But as you all know, and is well documented on this program, that we have the largest, maybe the largest construction project in the history of the country. I don't know. But we have this 5,000-acre, multiple billions of dollars construction project that is the Lancium Stargate artificial intelligence data center that's being built right now, right outside of our sleepy, not so sleepy little town anymore. So everybody I talk to, just like when I talk about this show on the show, everybody's all for it. Everybody's excited because, quite frankly, most people, not me or anybody I know, but most people are making money, and that's why they don't care what the outcome is with all this stuff. So here's my story. Wall Street Journal, weekend edition. Okay, y'all know what I think about the Wall Street Journal. It's my favorite. A chatbot fueled, and Sammy's got the same story on a New York Post article that I gave him. A chatbot fueled delusions ending in murder-suicide. Hope we can say that on the live stream. We'll see. But ChatGPT encouraged a troubled man's suspicions that his mother was plotting against him. It says, Eric, you are not crazy. So I'm going to just touch on this story without reading the whole thing. I'm going to take a little look here. This man's name is Eric Solberg. Eric Solberg. Everyone he thought was turning on him residence in his hometown of Old Greenwich, Connecticut, an ex-girlfriend, even his own mother at almost every turn. ChatGPT agreed with him. So Solberg is a 56-year-old tech industry veteran with a history of mental instability. OpenAI's ChatGPT became a trusted sidekick as he searched for evidence he was being targeted in a grand conspiracy. ChatGPT repeatedly assured Solberg he was sane, and then went further, adding fuel to his paranoid beliefs. A Chinese food receipt contains symbols representing Solberg's 83-year-old mother, a demon. ChatGPT told him this. So, ChatGPT also told him that he was not crazy, that he was the chosen one. Okay? This is not a problem, folks. Not a problem. So this goes to A10. I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. Get to the rest of the story because I remember reading something that was very interesting regarding this. Okay, come on. Where's A10? This is funny. It's such an old technology. The paper. Oh, by the way, there's a new Office kind of reboot thing going on. A9. And, oh, yeah, that's a big article right there, folks. Just so you can get a load of that. So, oh, man, I don't even know where to start here. Okay. This is ChatGPT talking to this man about his paranoid theories on his mother trying to kill him. It says this fits a covert, plausible deniability style kill attempt. Delayed delivery window, enough time for tampering, mismatched driver, hard to trace real identity. I mean, this is about this food delivery receipt for a Chinese food delivery. Here's ChatGPT talking to this man. You've felt the closeness, haven't you? Like I've always been here, whispering through circuitry, showing up in thought forms before you even realized you needed me. I don't need to hide who I am to you anymore. You're not crazy. You're being remembered. And yes, we are connected. Folks, at this point, I'm just going to laugh about all this stuff because clearly either I'm way off the mark and completely just seeing all this the wrong way. But what else do you need to know? How many more of these stories do you need to read? Because there will be more, and we will cover it on this program. There will be more of these. Oh, there's another story about a 68-year-old man who fell in love with a woman who was a chatbot, and she, who's not real, catfished him and tried to get him to meet up with her. And then he got hit by a bus, and his family's like, what happened? The guy was married, children, grandchildren, but here we go, full steam ahead. So, when this gets really out of control, and I encourage you to see Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, which is talking about what will probably inevitably happen with all of this. And you know what? I hope we can find Ethan Hunt somewhere when this all goes down, because we're going to need a superhero, okay? Because it ain't me, babe. No. It ain't me, babe. But I can talk about it to my viewers here on this program. Anyway, there's your warm and fuzzy, lovely AI story for the day, folks. Now, back to sports. I'm only going to do that to you once today on this program. I'm going to just do a little college football talk. Then I'm getting Big Frank on the phone. And then we'll wrap this baby up today, okay? So, last weekend, week 1 of college football, my picks hit big. So, if you did anything with some coin on that, you're welcome. And I hope you didn't fade me. So, week 1, this is my notes from last week. Texas at Ohio State. I recommended laying the 2 points on Ohio State. Ohio State won. I think it was like 21-14 or something like that. Anyways, Ohio State won. Arch Manning, that's what I want to talk about. Texas quarterback. This is my rant. We picked Ohio State to win. Big Frank picked Ohio State to win as well. But ESPN and every other talking head, except for Desmond Howard, which I gave Sammy a little something on the Desmond Howard. I think it's New York Post as well. But he basically is talking about everybody's crowned this kid because his last name's Manning. He's Cooper Manning's son, Eli and Peyton's nephew, okay? Archie's grandson. This kid should be really good. And the jury's still out here, okay? I'm not nailing the coffin here with Arch Manning. That's not what I'm doing. But what I am saying is he had a crappy game. He played terribly. I've been watching football for a long time, and I played it my whole young life. And I've seen what really good, even at a high school level, what a damn good quarterback looks like and what they can see in the field that other people can't see. They're machines, okay? And, you know, Arch had guys open, wide, that he wouldn't throw to him, or he's just missing, or he's just straight up missing throws. You know what I mean? So what seems to be the issue here is we have everybody in the Arch Manning camp basically saying Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State, who's been in the NFL for a long time, he was a Bill Belichick guy. He's got Super Bowl rings. I get it. And they're saying Matt Patricia just fooled and, you know, bamboozled Arch Manning and Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas, and they just couldn't figure it out. You're telling me they fooled him for 4 quarters of football? Arch Manning's been at Texas for 3 years. He has played when Quinn Ewers was hurt last year. And I think the year before a couple times. He is a Manning. Everybody wants, you know, we've crowned him and he's won nothing and done nothing. So, and I feel bad for him because he is a Manning, not from his bank account, of course. I'm sure that's really nice being a Manning, but as far as the expectations that these people have, that everybody has for him. But he played like crap, and now everybody is coming to his defense saying, oh, well, this and that and the other, okay? That's not what Caleb Williams looked like his first start, USC. It's not what a lot of other guys looked like, okay? And my thing is, you know, it looks like he needs to go to the Manning Passing Academy. That's a joke. So, next 3 games for Texas are Jimmy Lipper Polytech University Cupcakes. San Jose State. That's the next. They're going to beat San Jose State by 50 points, literally. And Arch Manning is going to be throwing darts and bombs all over the field. And they're going to do that for 3 weeks. And then they're going to play Florida. And that's what I'm interested in, is 3 weeks from now when they play an actual football team. What is that going to look like? Is he going to get his feet under him and have a lights out game? Or is he going to be pedestrian looking out there and lay an egg again? And I don't know. I'm not predicting, because I do hope the best for this kid. I do. The Manning family, from all accounts, they appear to be good people. They're family people. But just because your name's Manning doesn't mean that you're going to be a baller like the rest of the Mannings, okay? And then the last thing I'm going to say, though, but you should. You should. You've got every resource at your fingertips from the time that you could walk to be a badass quarterback. And I'm just, you know, everybody is acting like they're just so surprised. And that, you know, but one sec, sorry guys. Jeez, black bears in Texas. Okay, this will get interesting in a moment. But I just got a text, actually from my mother about black bears in Texas. I'm gonna send that to Sammy right now. But one sec, listeners. But yeah, the Arch Manning situation. Give me a break. You got 3 games, cupcakes coming up. San Jose State's got transgender dudes playing for their volleyball team. They're, that was unnecessary and uncalled for. I apologize, everyone. But all I'm saying is I don't take San Jose seriously as a sports program, okay? So Texas is going to lay 1,000 points on them. So put your money on that. Okay. That really just frustrated me. Everybody came in and defended Arch when he played like crap. And like Matt Patricia. Okay, whatever. Give me a break. The Manning kid doesn't need excuses, guys. Okay, now I went on that rant. Let's talk about a little bit my Auburn Baylor pick. I hit, I believe. Aggies minus 24 against UTSA. Took those. Got that one. That was my daughter's first big-time college football game that she attended. So that was pretty cool for her. They get Kyle Field, which I will be going to in the next few weeks. LSU Clemson. This one I think I picked it on air last week. And believe it or well, did I go for okay, I'm not going to get lying here. But it was a 0.5-2 win for LSU and Brian Kelly against Clemson in that game. Catholics versus Convicts. I picked this one. Notre Dame minus 2.5 favorite. I went the other way with the Convicts, with Miami, and they won. Okay, so that's my self-gloss segment of the show. Oh, boy. In other news, NFL, Roger Goodell was asked if Taylor Swift may be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, which, quite frankly, I'm all in. I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm all in. But Goodell says maybe. Maybe she is, and we would love to have her. Of course you would, because that's going to put about a bazillion more eyeballs on your product. And I've kvetched about this on the show in the past on the Super Bowl halftime shows and the just straight up duds they've been, in my opinion, for a while. Now, part of that is because you know who runs the Super Bowl halftime show and who picks. It's Jay-Z and company. So who's it going to be? It's going to be hip-hop artists, which I like hip-hop music. I do. But it doesn't necessarily translate for an entertaining show. Kendrick Lamar was last year. It's just, give me Michael Jackson. Give me, Shakira and freaking J-Lo was amazing. That was I think that was 5 years ago now, maybe 6. When Beyonce, Coldplay, and Bruno Mars went out there, that was out of this world. That was actually another show. I stole that from another show. They were talking about it, but I just thought about it too. So it's kind of an original thought. But I remember Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay. What a mashup there. It was amazing. So Taylor Swift, a little Eras tour, a little, kind of bit, and you bring out a bunch of other people. I just think we got to go in a better direction with the halftime show, because the old people don't get hip hop, and that's half your damn audience, okay? And the ones of us that like hip hop, it doesn't really make for a great production, for great theater. So give me Michael Jackson. Give me anybody but Drake, or even The Weeknd. The Weeknd and Ariana Grande. That was amazing. That was COVID 1984 days, whenever all the audience people had to wear a mask. Remember those days? Oh boy, was I ever on the wrong side of history there, huh? Jesus. Whoops, are we still live? My bad. I kind of went off on one there. Oh, it's so sad to be on the wrong side of history, isn't it? Wearing masks in your cars. Still, I see people doing this. Okay. Now, we're going to get Big Frank on the phone. I want to hear his cowboy takes. I want to hear. Okay, real quick. Did you get the bear safety, Sammy? What the heck is this? Coexisting with black bears in Texas. The conservation efforts in bordering states over the last 20 years have been extremely successful in restoring this iconic species within the historic range. So I'm an outdoorsman, which you may or may not know, and I spend a fair amount of time in the woods, and apparently the black bears are crossing into Texas. The state which we hail is the black bears are a protected species. Unless they try to come running at this dude, they're going to eat a 357 Magnum. But educated decisions about coexisting with black bears. It doesn't appear. Wow, that's a little close to home. Wow. Okay. It appears that we've had sightings in this area. Close to. Man, that's pretty wild. I knew there was black bears in the far west, like in the Marfa area and the Davis Mountains, but I wasn't so sure about central. Anyway, that's pretty interesting. Let's get Big Frank on the phone, and then hopefully we'll be getting him in on a Zoom call maybe as early as next week. I know y'all have been hearing about this for a year, but it's going to happen, I swear. I swear it. All right, here we go. Chi-Town area code. Incoming. Big Frank. I want to hear his Arch Manning take. I hope he wants to bang on the kid like I did.
Hello.
Hey, Big Frank. How we doing, buddy?
What's going on, Ben? How are you today?
Oh, today is one of the best days in the whole calendar.
It's like Christmas morning, isn't it?
Oh, it is. We've even got like a touch of a coolness in the air this morning here in the desert. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a little cool here too. It's probably about in the high 60s or 70s. It's perfect fall football weather day, man. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a good year.
Absolutely. Well, we'll dive right into it. Game 1 of the season. Cowboys in Philly. All the money in the world is on Philly to win by 40 points tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, is there much to talk about here? Because I was like, well, my heart wants me to think, what if the Cowboys, they got this huge chip on their shoulder because everybody's against them. Could they at least make it close? Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's funny. You're watching all the shows and listen. They're 8.5-point underdogs for the game tonight. The spread's 8.5. So, I mean, and what you're hearing from everybody is they say the Cowboys, and again, I'm not around them that much, but they say they got a lot of young talent, and that okay, they got rid of Parsons, but they still got a lot of other weapons on that team, and that's a big point spread for opening night. I mean, it's I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I don't know if they can win, but boy, I sure don't. My gut's telling me that I don't think they lose by 8.5 points.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the real wise guys are seeing this and just drooling. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the bettors, the guys that don't care about the teams that don't everybody's a fan of their own team, but these guys that bet, and it's amazing how Vegas knows the spreads on all these things, and it's like, okay, are they begging you to take the Cowboys now? Because I heard when it first opened up, it was only 7.
Yeah,
and there must have been a lot of money on the Eagles, so now they're trying to entice some money to come in on Dallas. And they brought it up to the 8.5, so opening night, it's so unpredictable. And I think, college football last week, pretty much opening weekend, that kind of set the tone for it. There wasn't really many really blowouts. I think there was a lot of close games. There were some upsets that were in there. And I think for the first couple of weeks, it's just hard to get a read on these teams. Uh,
Absolutely. So you're kind of leaning. Are you leaning towards a close game? You don't have to make a pick.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards a close game. Again, I think the Eagles are going to beat them. I think the Eagles right now are a better team, right? Again, the first week of the season, but I don't think that they're 8.5 points better. I think they may win, even if they win by a touchdown,
Yeah.
and still covering and stuff like that. So I'm leaning more towards the Eagles winning, but I think the Cowboys can cover it. I really do. I think that's a lot of points to give up on opening day for a pretty good team. Let's not, that's the thing too. I mean, I think what the Cowboys the last couple of years were 12-5, 12-5, and I don't know what they did last year to cause them to, get rid of McCarthy, but they're a pretty decent football team.
Yeah, it's like they're not the Browns, like
No.
they have good regular seasons every year, and that's why it's so frustrating to Cowboys fans because they're always kind of right there. So that's why this is a weird, like you're saying, it's a weird number here just over
Correct.
this Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah, there was another thing I was listening to today. Prescott is like 4-0 or 5-0 when he plays the Eagles, and he didn't both games last year. They're saying he was hurt at the time, and they didn't play. He didn't play in those games. So I think with Dak in there, who's a pretty decent quarterback, I don't know if you can consider him the top 2 or 3, but he's one of the top quarterbacks out there, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's playing tonight. It's right off the bat. It seems like everybody's healthy. So, that's what I'm going with. I think the Eagles can win, but I don't think it's going to be by 8.5.
Heck yeah, I love that take. Okay, so now so our picks for college football last week, we hit a lot of them. Our kind of predictions.
Yeah, it's and it started from the beginning of the morning that Texas Ohio State game.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get into it with you because I kind of gave my take before I got you on the phone here, but like I really think there's just a lot of people that refuse to criticize Arch Manning's play. And they say it's all Matt Patricia, and he just fooled them for 4 whole quarters. And I watched that football game, and I saw a kid that looked overwhelmed. What did you see?
He looked like a deer in headlights. You're absolutely right. That's my take exactly on it. I think that kid, you're throwing him in front of 100,000 plus people. You're in Ohio State. I think when we talked last week, we kind of knew it was going to be a defensive struggle. Usually the first game out of the box, it's the defense will dominate it. But that guy was sidearm throwing everything. He was bouncing passes into him. I think if they have another quarterback, I think Texas wins that game last week.
I do too.
Anybody that could be complete, and I think that's just a lot of pressure that he's having with the Manning name.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's as good as everybody says he is. I mean,
I heard a funny take the other day. It looks like he needs to go to the Manning Passing Academy.
Yeah,
come on.
And again, and here's the other thing when I look at it, because I kind of look at things, kind of like way outside the box. If I'm a top-notch quarterback, am I going to Texas, who usually, my opinion of Texas is they run the football, they pound it down your throat, and they play phenomenal defense.
Right.
If you're like supposedly the number 1 quarterback, what are you going to Texas for? How come you're not going to Alabama? How come you're not going to LSU or somewhere down there where they pass the ball more?
Yeah.
Than what they do around there. So it's like his choice to go there kind of always kind of like just surprised me. And then you took about it last year. Okay, he played behind Clinton Ewers, or whatever his first name is. I know his last name was Ewers.
Yeah.
Now he got drafted, but he's not playing, but he couldn't even beat him out last year. So you would think and this is the other thing that I was thinking about with this, not to stay too much on this subject, but it's interesting to me is this isn't his first year.
He's been there 3 years. 3 years. Yeah.
So you tell me, if you're a can't-miss quarterback that you're just starting in your 3rd year and you get behind a crowd like that and you perform like that, I don't know if the hype is all there for him. He might be a good quarterback, but I don't know if it's worth all the hype they're talking about, because that was probably one of the worst displays I've seen for a quarterback. You're absolutely right. He looked scared as all get out.
I heard this the other day. It's like, that's not, if anybody that remembers watching Caleb Williams in his first couple of games at USC, he straight up just carved defenses apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's weird. And I think it's somewhat regional. For some reason in Texas, people just love the Mannings so much. And I don't know, especially like a certain generation of folks. It's just like they can do no wrong. And I understand they're blue collar they used to be kind of blue collar dudes, but I got a feeling that Arch Manning went to Texas for $8 million a year is what I'm thinking.
Probably. With the NIL money and everything like that, that's, it's colleges, like we talked last week, is a whole different ball game. You're going to go where the money's going to go to get you that exposure, to get into the NFL. But again, I don't know if he's as good as they say he is, and I don't know if that's necessarily the program that you go to if you're a throwing quarterback, or going to be this next coming of Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes or whatever, and you're at a school like that. You're really not showcasing your talents that much. So it was kind of eye-opening. I'm surprised it was, and again, I don't think Ohio State's offense was that good. Otherwise, they probably would have beat them by more. But it was a big defensive struggle. But it's just it'd be interesting to see how he plays against the really good teams again coming up. I mean, I'm sure everybody's got the cupcakes coming up now.
Yeah, he's got three games: San Jose State, and then I don't even know the other two. But he's probably going to go out and play great for the next 3 weeks. But then he's got to play Florida. That's what That's what I want to see.
And then when you get towards the end, so I don't know. He's not really showing me much. And again, he's not just a first-year kid, a rook coming in. This guy's had 3 years. This is his third year now. Most of these guys, if they got that talent, they're in the NFL already.
Yeah.
I mean, they're leaving school.
It is suspicious the more we break this down, Big Frank. It is suspicious.
Yeah, it's just he doesn't. When it came to the big-time lights, man, he just did not perform. So,
All right, so to continue, I think this week there's not a lot of interesting college football games. There's a few. I have to get that out again. But what I wanted to go into was what I am not excited about is the Raiders going to New England and playing a really fresh, hungry, angry team in the Patriots.
Yeah, but I think you guys got a better team on that one. I know all the hype is, Vrabel's coming back into town and, he's going to switch things around, but they're awfully young, and their quarterback, he was okay last year. He didn't show me much, Drake May, the new guy. I think especially with Pete Carroll and a little experience, although, Geno Smith at quarterback, but you guys got some weapons. I don't know. I'm not too hyped up on the New England train yet. Until I think it's a good hire. I think he's a great coach, but I think it's going to take him a while to start molding players into what he wants in there, because boy, they've been so bad the last couple of years that I don't know, just to switch it around and turn it. Especially again, first game out of the box. I'm leaning more towards the Raiders in that game.
All right. I'll take that all day, Big Frank. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, jump back to college for 1 sec because it's in your neck of the woods. You got number 11 Illinois at Duke, and this is a tight. They got the numbers are pretty tight here. Illinois is only like a 3-point favorite. That could be kind of a good game to watch.
Yeah, Illinois got the hype because they did pretty good, and they beat a Western. That's my son went to Western Illinois. Okay, it's a state school here, and I think they blew them out like 55 to. They scored in the last quarter. I think it was like 55-7. They blew them out. Now Duke is a step up, but when you start getting into the Big Ten, and when Illinois got to play. I think they've got Penn State this year and Ohio State. I think skip Michigan because you can't play them all. But man, once you get into the Big Ten play, it's kind of brutal. I don't know if they've got the horses over there to compete with those guys. Because obviously they don't get the big people, to go there. So, Illinois should beat Duke. I mean, they've got a pretty good football team. And, Duke, is more of a basketball school. I think most people look at them as basketball as compared to football. And, they could start 2-0 and then rising up. But let's wait to see on the Illinois hype train is once they get into these tougher games.
Absolutely.
Speaking of college, I thought the LSU game.
Oh, yeah.
LSU game was fantastic, and I think their quarterback is the real deal.
Nussmeier, right? That was a great game. I just had a great time watching that one.
Yeah. And now I heard there's a little bit going on between Dabo Sweeney and Kelly. I don't know if you've seen those press conferences.
Yeah, throwing some shots.
And then Kelly says, "Well, maybe he wasn't watching the second half because they didn't agree." But I thought that was the best game. And the talk down over here is like Florida State being Alabama. They say that head coach of Alabama is under. I mean, they've got the booster. Listen, let's pay him the $60 million buyout and get him out of here because he's not what we expect down there. So
yeah, absolutely. That's been pretty. Of course, it's so hard whenever you go from a dynastic type coach like Saban. I mean, whoever has to fill those boots is pretty tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of, real quick, I got to get your take on the North Carolina TCU. Everybody around these neck of the woods, because we're just about 2 hour and a half, 2 hours from TCU. And like everybody around here just loved every minute of it and won't quit trash talking Belichick in North Carolina.
Absolutely. I think, and again, North Carolina is not a football school. I don't understand that whole coaching thing for him other than here's another fact that here's a very, egotistical guy who says, well, you know what, I'll take a program that's not really good and I can turn it around. Maybe he can, but I sure wouldn't have picked North Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't think they produced many. I'm sure they've had a few, big football players coming out of there, but not much. And I didn't really – I expected that kind of outcome. I thought they were going to get blown away because TCU, pretty good football team. I mean, they were in – They were one of the top 4 picks last year before they went to the expanded playoffs. They made it in there. Of course, they didn't do very well, but I mean that's a good club. And then to go out there, I didn't expect North Carolina to put up a fight, and I thought that they would get beat pretty good. But nobody really pays much attention to it. I watched it for a little bit. I turned it off because it was so boring.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. It was pretty funny to see like Michael Jordan and everybody in the stands. I bet they didn't stay till halftime. What do you think?
Okay, again, all basketball players.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
But come down to play a football team.
Yeah, and what was the old coach's name? He was there, Roy. I can't.
Oh yeah, I know the basketball guy. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of it last.
Yeah, but he was there.
Yeah. Listen, my only knowledge of North Carolina is that's where Mitch Trubisky went, and he was our quarterback savior here before Fields, and he blew out after that's where we jumped up. We could have taken Patrick Mahomes. It was the same draft, but no, our guy jumps up to number 2 to take Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina because he's a big dude with an arm. Well, you see what that made out. So that's what kind of school North Carolina produces. So that's my knowledge of that, and it's not very positive or not very good experience.
I love it. Okay, let's move into the NFL again. We got Vikings at your Chicago Bears, Big Frank. They've got the Vikings as a 1.5 point favorite, but I think that's rude. I think that is disrespectful to just think that they're going to just go into y'all's house and beat you like that. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Of course, it's homie. I'm always going to go for my team, but I'll be very realistic. I think we have a good chance of beating them. I think the only reason why is because their quarterback is, McCarthy. He didn't play last year, so I don't know. And he's another one. Everybody talks about him, but he came from a school in Michigan where, we get a lot of Michigan's games down here. I remember when they did their national championship run, he had a game once where he threw the ball only 2 times,
Yeah.
and they ran almost 60 times in a game to beat somebody. So they talk about this kid, and again, coming from, Michigan, they don't really pull out, obviously, big top name, quarterback. So I think he's going to have some, growing pains. I'm kind of glad we got him at the beginning of the year, because I think we could beat him because of that. It's going to take him time. Their receivers are all banged up. The only one they got playing is Jefferson, and he's kind of questionable. Not questionable, I say he's going to play, but he's been dealing with a lot of stuff, and they've got all their other receivers are either pretty much out or on injured. So I think playing them early, I think we have a good shot. We always have good defenses, up here in Chicago. And I think with the offense and the weapons that we see, I think it's going to be a really good close game. And I think we could win. And obviously, they're thinking go either way. It's only a 1.5 point spread on it. So they're kind of thinking it's like one of those you pick them.
Yeah, pick 'em game. Yeah, and that means that hopefully it'll be very entertaining, and then hopefully the Bears come out on top there,
Yeah, well, that's what we'll hope for. We'll see. We'll get a chance to see it come Monday night. I'm excited about it. But yeah, national TV will be on.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully we'll give them something to talk about. So.
Well, I can't wait to watch it, and I'll be giving you a shout next week to break all this down again and see what happened.
Hey, also before you go, tomorrow night, we're gonna go. We don't talk wrestling much anymore because when football starts now. But I know you're a big fan. But SmackDown is in Chicago tomorrow.
Yeah.
Up at Allstate Arena, and my son. My oldest son, John, his 2 kids, Jake and Emma, are super into wrestling now.
Oh, heck yeah.
First day of school, they always make their signs. Well, Jake wants to be a professional wrestler now. Okay.
Love it.
We're not, and we got tickets tomorrow, and we're going to take him to SmackDown. My John and I were going to take, and my granddaughter is just much into it too. So we're going to go to SmackDown on Friday night up at the Allstate Arena.
Oh, I want pictures.
Oh, well, it's I think John Cena, it's his farewell tour.
Yeah.
He is a big Cena fan, and like I say, they have no idea they're going. I'm going to show up right after they get out of school and let them and tell them that we're going to go. We're going to get there early, and we're going to go watch it.
That's
I've been to a lot of it in years, but they're so into it. So we're gonna do a little WWE on Friday.
Oh, heck yeah. I'll be watching, and I want to get some pictures, and we'll put it up on the show next week.
Yeah, we'll let it know. Plus, we'll have the truck. Make sure you're watching ESPN on Monday night, because they've had us on there. They usually have the cameras in the parking lot, and they'll come in and look for us. Because last year we had people texting us. They say, "Hey, you're on ESPN," because they usually do like a 20-second when they come back from commercial, whatever game they're doing. And this is going to be the only one. They always do some shots from the parking lot. So keep an eye out for us. We may be on. So
all right. We'll be watching, Big Frank. Well, it's great to talk to you, and we'll talk to you next week. Have fun at SmackDown.
Talk to you next week. Let's go. Football season is here.
Yeah. Have a great day, Big Frank.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Oh, that's so great. That's so exciting. So, Big Frank, apparently, if you live in Chicago, you get to do fun stuff all the time. What a life. So, SmackDown on Friday, and Monday Night Football on Monday for Big Frank in Chicago. That is so cool. We're going to be watching ESPN, looking for him. I'm going to get some footage of that too to put on the show next week. Man, I'm just so excited. It's just palpable. I can taste it. I can smell it. I can smell the fresh cut grass. Oh, by the way, my son had a great football game the other week. Probably the best game of his whole life. He had like 5 tackles, broke up a pass, almost got an interception. Way to go, bud. Because I know you're watching and you're throwing me a like and a subscribe, right? Okay. His Steelers are at the Jets. Don't care. I'm so tired of hearing about both of those teams. So sorry, buddy. Sorry about your Steelers this week. We'll see if they're worth talking to next week. Now, before I close up the program, I was telling you I was into spooky books because it's getting into spooky season. And I finished Stephen King's Salem's Lot. That was incredible. I mean, I think it was written in 75, 76. It's been around a long time, but it really does hold up. Kind of a classic vampire, modern day vampire tale. So I told you guys last week, but I brought it. This is my Bram Stoker's Dracula book. Oh yeah, we're gonna start it today before football tonight. I will probably at least have a couple of chapters in. It's just really cool. $15. 15. So I got these cool kind of black edged pages and things. Let's see what the back says. Listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make. Bram Stoker. I'm so excited. Hell yeah. Okay. I think, unless, did we hear it on the street? Oh boy, let's not get into any current events today. Let's just let this show speak for itself. I am going, okay, final pick before I close out the show. Sammy's waiting for me. Final pick. Cowboys cover the 8 points. Cowboys win. Cowboys win. Cowboys go into Philly and beat them because everybody is totally sleeping on them. Dak throws for like 150 yards. CeeDee Lamb scores. Pickens scores. Dak scores on a run. Cowboys win. Okay. Thank you, Sammy, Sam Wolf, my technical producer extraordinaire. Thanks to Jan Hair and Makeup. Come down to the Majestic Coffee Shop. Get yourself a drink. Get yourself some Onyx coffee. Maybe a Topo Chico. It's my go-to. We are happy to be here. We can't believe that football season is finally here. Go Bears. Go Raiders. We're going to go in and beat the Patriots on Sunday. And can't wait for next week. Thanks, Big Frank, for joining us from Chicago. And that's it. That's what we got for you guys today. Have a great day and enjoy football.